Fledgling mother lover is crazy as hell, y'all, but we have to talk about it. Get it, don't be timid when you ain't it, love a bone, give along, need it. My name is Ashley, and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related, and I am here to put you on, okay? Y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's been so long for some of you, because some of y'all ain't been here since Interview with the Vampire second season. But if you are here, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're new here, my name is Ashley. This is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all the things TV and movie related. Y'all know I'm here to put you on. And we are back to talk The Vampire Lestat, episode 1. And listen, this was a fever dream. This was madness, mayhem, chaos, debauchery. It was all of those things, and I was here for it. I think I think this is absolutely what we needed out of The Vampire Lestat. We've met Lestat, right? But we haven't really met Lestat. We've met an Armand version of Lestat. We have met a Louis version of Lestat, but this is the first time you meeting me. This is the first time you seeing me, right? And so I absolutely love that we went off the deep end. I love that this felt like a fever dream. I love that I didn't know half the time if we were coming or going, but there was so much dropped and such a foundation laid in this episode that, baby, we have to talk about it. Now, immediately, if you've been here for any length of time, you have a Sweet Pea rating system over here. So I want your Sweet Pea ratings in the comment section. Also, if you're here, comment, subscribe, do all the things right now. You just go ahead and get that out of the way. But in the comments, I want to know, on a scale of 5 sweet peas, 5 being the best, 1 being the absolute worst, how would you rate this episode? This is easy for me, a 4.6 out of 5 sweet peas. It did everything that I needed it to do, and it even exceeded my expectations, honey. Now, did I expect to see his climax on the stage? No. I didn't expect to see the wet pants. I didn't. However, was I mad at it? No. I think this is full on Lestat and who he absolutely is, y'all. So let's get all the way into it. To me, this episode is setting the foundation for not only who Lestat is, but what his mission is going to be this season. And I'm reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming my name. I'm reclaiming my time. I'm doing all of that because y'all would never play with me, my personhood, who I am. We know that he is the director of his life, and the idea that someone has run with a story that he didn't approve is out of the question to him. This is just not about an album. It's just not about the band. It's not about the tour. I think this is our time as an audience to hear from Lestat out of his own mind, out of his own mouth, who he is, why he made the decisions he made, and why he's the broken shell of a man that he was before. Because let's not be under any delusions. We know exactly who Lestat is in terms of narcissism, in terms of behaviors, in terms of those things, at least from the lenses of 2 others. But we really don't know fully where he's at and why he got here. We know, again, that he's broken. We know that he seeks validation from others, that he desires to be worshiped as a god, lowercase g. But where does that come from? And I'm really hoping that throughout this mockumentary, throughout this tour, throughout these performances, throughout all of these interactions, that we really get to understand him fully. At one point in the episode, he actually says, listen, Daniel, the documentary is just the liner notes. The music is my story, and I'm going to tell it. Now, this is creating a hubbub with all of the old school vamps because, listen, first it was Louis with this damn book. Now you're here. What's going to happen next? And so we're going to figure that out on this journey, and I couldn't be more excited. Now, as this episode opens up, we are at the auction house, child. And immediately, it's giving somber. It's giving Daniel's not there. It's giving Lestat gone to be with the Lord or gone to glory or wherever he's going to go. It's gone. He's no longer in the land of the living. We have Raglan there. We have a legless Louis there. We've got a one-eyed gremlin there and a priest who all are bidding on Lestat's fine leather goods, his complete works, his narration throughout this whole journey of apparent calamity. We discover that rockstar Lestat that this tour that he went on crushed the world. It was the breaking of the world. All manner of calamity, all manner of elimination of the Y chromosome has taken place, all manner of calamities, catastrophes, all of the things have happened at this point. So this is the aftermath, but everybody's here to bid on these items. Now, the first items he sets on fire, the Baudelaire work set to his music, which was very interesting because as soon as they talk about the Baudelaire poetry, Louis very much gives this knowing look, like my man, my man, my man. What? That actually is a nod to the French poet Baudelaire, who Anne Rice was apparently inspired by. Les Fleurs du Mal is one of the works that she pulled from The Flowers of Evil, because of course she was into Gothic literature and French Romanticism. So I thought that was cool, a little tie-in, and maybe we'll get some more of that moving forward. But I get why Louis would be bidding. I get why Raglan James would be bidding because listen, the Talamasca of it all. I don't know why the priest from the Vatican is there. And little one-eyed gremlin Armand, why are you bidding? The bidding started out at 50 million. Listen. So y'all have a cute coin, but again, as they're getting to the bidding starts, and now we're getting back to Lestat telling his story. And as soon as we get back, we go to the first stop on the tour, which is Detroit, which just shot out to the shooting of Detroit. I thought this was special. The city gets recognition. I love that for us. We got to see some of the art. I loved the views that we got of the city. I thought that was cool. They also did that when we were in New Orleans before, and I love seeing the realness of a city. I also like that we start the tour in Detroit. I think we're going to get to see Lestat's full star rise eventually, and I like that we started at one of the smaller. But anyway, we're on tour, we're on stage, we're singing long face, we're doing all the things. And I'm looking at this band like it's gonna snap because you know how he gets about these notes. We find out that he's been locked in an apartment for a year with these people, training them to get this sound, this own unique sound that he's looking for. And so anyway, he's up there doing his performance, living his best life, honey, doing all the things, shaking his shimmy, and apparently reaching his climax. I was not prepared for the soiled pants at the end, y'all. I was not. We leave the stage, and of course, we meet the crew. We meet the sideman, Larry. We meet his brother, Alex, who has the real talent. Lestat says Salamander is crazy and dumb as hell, and he's on the bass. And then we have TC, the drummer, and she pulls the whole gang together, okay? Meet Michelle, who is the road manager, who manages all of things, who apparently he smashes. I don't want to see you smash Christine, Lestat. I don't want to see that. We're going backstage. We meet D, his chocolate drop. Listen, let's don't have a piece of chocolate here and there. It is what it is. But D is there in the full rotation, and D picks the girl for the night, and they go in the room to do all manner of debauchery. We also find out in this moment that Lestat has a body double, Jarda, who, the Albanian mob found him on the street, cleaned him up, put a wig on him, a bust down, and sends him out to do public facing things, right? Like go take pictures with the people, go sign the autographs, don't do all of that. And so he's got a full crew and thousands of adoring fans, right? But we have to get to where that happened. While we're doing this, he's being shot, and I'm like, okay, who's got camera? What's going on? We find out that he's enlisted Danny Boy, aka Daniel Molloy, to be doing a documentary for him. Right? He is responsible for this documentary. And again, this documentary is going to win Daniel all the awards in his mind. And so he's being absolutely recorded. And so after the tour, we get on the tour bus. Double caked up D is in the middle of the tour bus taking a shower with not a lick of soap, y'all. Not a lick of soap. I think that's what puzzled, befuddled, and bewildered me. Because why are you there and I don't see no soap dripping down all over your bodies? I don't see your 2,000 parts scrubbed. All right. And we know how Lestat with cleanliness and all of those things, but the shower was long. So I'm sure some soap was introduced at some point. Anyway, we're sitting there and I start seeing text messages, moi, toi, moi, toi, me and you and me and you. And I'm like, really, Lestat? That you just can't act. And so Daniel immediately is like, is this Louis? Like, are you back talking to Louis? He's not responding to none of my pages. I don't know what's going on with him. And Lestat is really just paying him dust. We see a Dr. Fareed that's looking very much like Armand. Maybe an older version of Armand sitting there. And I'm like, what is going on? Who are these people? Now, as we're sitting here, Daniel is like, I did what I was supposed to do. I wrote the book. I did all that. That was Louis. all of those things. I just want to know, did you stutter when you were a boy? And he said, did I stutter? Did I threaten Claudia with grape on the train? Did I do X, Y, or Z? Hell nah. And Louis wasn't there when I was growing up. Y'all just lied on me. He said, but listen, this tour is my opportunity to set the things right. This is my rewrite, and your documentary are the liner notes. It'll fill in the gaps. It'll give context to this album that I'm putting out. Now, if you watched the Vampire Lestat after show, Roland James, the showrunner, stated in that this was going to feel like a whole album. Each episode was going to actually serve almost as a record in the album. And you heard that throughout this episode, like Failure, Side B. I think that's how we're going. I think every episode is going to have a different tone. I'm excited to see how that all plays out. But anyway, when he's there talking to Daniel, we then get flashback to where this all began, where this all started. Lestat's at home in his well-appointed home, playing the piano for Louis on FaceTime. Your friends. He's inviting him over. He says, listen, I got a spare room. Louis said, you want me in the spare room? Is that where you want me, Daddy? You want me in the spare room? And so after he finishes playing his piece, Louis like, oh, that's nice. And Lestat is like, nice. They're talking. We start getting notifications on the iPad. It's like, who paging me? Who is blowing me up like this? Who is Daniel Molloy, Louis? And what is this book? And what did you do? Oh, I burned the laptop. I burned the laptop, so I don't know. I didn't know about a cloud. Louis, you're a liar. Immediately, this sends Lestat into a tizzy, and he's got to go to the bookstore to get this book and see what's happening. So he runs to his local bookshop, and he's there already reading the book before he checks out of the line. And the heifers behind the counter are pissing me off. Because how dare you say Armand is more interesting than Lestat? Respectfully, go directly to the hot place. Respectfully, disrespectfully, go to the hot place. There's no way you read that and said Armand is the interesting one, please. So anyway, he snatches the book, goes home reading it, and he's doing his own edit because this never happened. I never said that. That wasn't me. Who did this? That was exaggerated. This was X, Y, or Z. And he's like, Lord, it's getting on my nerves. This band across the street, Satan's mistress or Satan's whatever it was across the street, getting on his nerves, playing these notes wrong. He storms out. Well, before that, actually, it's Halloween. And so he's passing out candy. And I think that was the biggest surprise of the episode, that was actually passing out candy to the kids. Although he didn't give a damn about their allergies. He's fed up at this point. He's already enraged. He storms across the street, breaks the people's front door, storms upstairs, and shows the man how to play the guitar the proper way, and then breaks the guitar. Because who are you playing with? You ain't got to finger her like this. She don't like it. You're hurting her. I'll replace it. All right. Get back to what you were doing. As he's walking out, one of the people from the band come out and approach him. And immediately that's where you see the brainchild begins to work for Lestat. Now, again, entertaining, highly entertaining. And now, like I said, it really sets the stage for where we're going with this, because while it is about fandom, or excuse me, stardom, and just being loved, adored, worshipped by millions, billions of people, this is also about getting the story right. And so now we have a second performance in Detroit. We're up on the stage, and I think tonight the song is Black Licorice, all right? And we're up there doing everything we can do. I have my violin solo. The guys are doing good, except now I feel like I'm competing with the side guitarist over here. And let's not say I don't like that. He is filled with so much rage. The fangs come out. He's about to spaz, but then realizes, oh, this is my musical nirvana. This is what we worked for that year in the apartment. This is the sound that I've wanted. And now I'm being enveloped by all of my muses. We see Louis over here. We see Nikki. We see Gabrielle. We see some other people I ain't never seen before. And he's in this state of bliss, so much so that when the little Baby Jenks hops on the stage, he drains her on the stage, not knowing that she done took a mouthful of candy colored dope. Okay. And now he is high as Cooter Brown and has to take her backside because he done fully drained her. And when he pops in the room, Daniel's feeding on D, child. And Lestat, and do you know what to do? Have you ever OD'd? Do you know what to do? And they're like, oh God, lay her down. Not her, me. So while he's there tripping out and Daniel's trying to administer life-saving, support to this girl who's bleeding or just dying on the floor, he sees Baby Jenks up in the ceiling and she's prophesying his whole life. She's letting him know what it's about to be. You say, this music's gonna kill you, right? You know they're gonna kill you. Daniel, you're gonna go too. Everybody basically in this room is gonna go. Daniel goes really bad though when she looks down at him. But isn't this enough for you? You have thousands of adoring fans. Like, can't you just stop now? And basically, the stat is like, hell no, I want millions, I want billions. And she's like, well, just know they're coming. And Lestat's like, who the hell is coming? And before she can answer, she's back in her body. She's healed. She's up. And again, this is the people y'all know and love is Jinx that you guys were wondering is going to be here. And Jinx is sure enough here, the first episode. Now, what I think is interesting, and I'm curious about how she'll recur, because Lestat does say that she's like the embodiment of all of his past and the muses and all of those things. So I'm sure we're going to have to revisit her again, even though she says she's getting married after they have some wild elevator sex. She says that she's leaving because she's getting married in a week. Anyway, we're on stage still in Detroit after that, but we also, while we were there, met the Fang Gang. Now, these are the regional vampires who allegedly were sent this edict because now the old school vamps, just like at the end of season 2 with Louis, are saying Lestat has to die. They said first it was Louis in that damn book. Now it's you and this tour. If he's in your town, take him out. And you know, Lestat is cocky. He's big D energy. He said it is a vodka bottle. All right. So know that. But he said, I have the blood of the princess. I can handle anything that comes my way. And so now it's time to go to the red carpet. He's got on his best shade of blush and bashful, and he is ready to take on everything because he's had the best night performance of his life. The band has transcended, okay? And now we just need to have fun and have a good time at this party. And so we get to the party, we're hanging out, everyone's, you know, on the vibe, that he's the scalpel to the rock industry. He cuts to the heart, all right? And, you know, Jinx is just raving about him in this documentary, and he's got to go to the bathroom. And so now we get to see what Vamp P looks like, because apparently that was very important for us to know. And we needed to see this copper colored urine go down the eco-friendly urinal. All right. And so while in there, the regional vamps, the Fang Gang, you know, that Lestat laughs in their face about, comes in there too. And like, you know, long face, but I like those other two songs, and that's cute. And, you know, I'm Tim, and that's Russ, and you know, and Lestat said, Russ, you've got a strong pelvic floor, a great aim, all of those things. I'll be there tomorrow. They said, Lestat, you leave tomorrow. He said, yeah, I was trying to be, keep it cute, trying to be nice, whatever. Goes back out, and now he realizes he's got blood poisoning because of all of the dope that he's fed on through these people. And so he's starting to see real crazy, dancing his butt off, doing all that. And then realizes, honey, that the regional vampires want to scrap. They want to fight. We've got the helmeted DJ downstairs. We've got Daniel hanging out with the band. We've got everybody just having a good time. And he, you know, D upstairs and Jinx, so they can have wild elevator smecks and do all the most. Also in this moment, we find out that sex is, you know, all 4 on the list of things that help you forget about your past. I think first was draining somebody completely. I think second was the kill. 3 was the little drink. And 4 is the smecks. And he said he's got an immortal D, okay? He's got a mortal dingling. And so he can perform. As they're ascending up the elevator, they're doing all that. Jinx leaves because she's getting married in a week. And now we have the fight. And again, I don't know what's up with us having to have these Punisher fights all the time in every series I'm watching lately. But the regional vamps are there again. Lestat says, I got this. He says, D, kiss the wall, baby. You don't want to see this. D is over here manifesting their future life while Lestat takes on this army of regional vampires. Now, we think it's going to be quick work because, like you said, I got the blood of Akasha. I got the blood of the princess, you know, the patricidal princess. So, you know, what could go wrong? Except it goes very wrong because the way that Les bruised, battered, and toe up from the flow, he looked like Martin when Martin was in the boxing ring. His face was tilted, turned sideways. To the rescue, Danny Boy and Sam from Theater Day Vampire. I was like, well, damn, come through, Sam. He said, the Talamasca made me do it, baby. I'm here to support you. Let's say I ain't got no time for that. Just come and help. Danny Boy jumps in. He jumps in. You know, the smoke, and they got served. All right. He eventually, one of them out into the forefront, and Lestat has to kill him in front of everybody. And now the band is surprised because you really are a vampire. It's like, hell, I mean, I thought I was a vampire, but he did say he was hiding it. So now his secret is out, and he has to fly off. So Lestat flies off to the $2, or excuse me, to the flea-bitten, flea-ridden motel, looking like a $2 hooker, honey, that's been strung out mighty bad. And now we're still texting Twa because, baby, I need you. Come to me. But before he could fly off, also I have to mention Daniel did ask him, did he stutter as a kid? And we kind of get a little bit of a flashback. Anyway, at the motel, he's laying just, I need help. I'm broken, battered, and bloody, and I don't know what to do. And so Twa eventually enters, and I'm like, okay, Twa there. And you know, the time I'm honestly thinking, this has to be Louis, right? We've put everything aside. We are back on deck. My boo is here. Like, it's be Louis. Baby, it was not Louis. This was his mama. Gabrielle, aka Gabriella, and she's there to address all of his wounds, okay? Scratch his head cuz it's ailing in this moment, but not before we get a luscious juicy tongue kiss. Now listen here, of all of the Oedipus Rex of it all, I just, going here. Now, I have read around for context around the relationship and how in Anne Rice universe, vampires aren't really driven by a human sex drive like that, but it's like deep intimacy. And when you are changed, you are something different. But the whole fledgling mother lover crazy as hell, that's still your mama. But apparently Gabrielle ain't want to be nobody mama when she got changed. Gabriella, they say, and I really wonder why they didn't take that approach. I know they cut her hair, but what I've read before is that Gabrielle was more masculine presenting after being made a vampire. So it's very interesting to see how this dynamic will play out. I think that they are a source for everything and every reason that is the way that they are today. I think it starts then. But made her when she was apparently dying of a wasting disease. And so he created her so that she could have immortality. And their relationship is what it is. I fear if we thought Lestat was bad, we've seen nothing yet in terms of Gabriella. And I can't wait to see where it goes, y'all. But it ended with a kiss, honey, and Oedipus. But you guys drop it in the comments. Don't forget to let me know how you rated this episode. Again, my sweet pea rating was 4.6 out of 5 sweet peas. Y'all know I love Sam Reid down. He's working overtime because not only is he Lestat, not only did he do a real tour on the road, not only is he singing, dancing, doing all the hip thrusts, he's also being his own damn doppelganger. Like, what? Man a raise and give him some awards. Again, it was good. They did enough. They brought out Armand. They brought out Raglan. We got to see Sam. We got to see Daniel. We got to see Louis. We got to see the people. I just need more of the interactions. And I was really hoping for a Claudia reveal this episode, but that's fine. I can wait as long as she's haunting everyone. But you guys drop it in the comments. Let me know what you thought of the premiere episode of The Vampire Lestat, how you rated it. Where do we go from here, y'all? What does this mean for Lestat? In the after show, Lestat or Sam Reid says he's afraid of how people are going to respond to Lestat's character. He's scared that no one's going to like Lestat after this season. I can't wait to see what that means. But if you guys are still here, thank you for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all of the things for your girl. Hype me up, all right? And I will see y'all in the next video.